Okay, for our last panel of the day, focusing on combating the rise of Jew hatred from the fringe right, moderated by myself, Ariella Noveck, and accompanied by Bryan, Lieb, CEO of Henry Public Relations and Foreign Policy Advisor to Congressman Abraham Hamada, and also Rabbi Menken, Executive Vice President of the Coalition of Jewish Values and board member appointed by President Donald Trump to the Advisory Board of Religious Leaders of the United States Religious Liberty Commission. Welcome. You see, this is going to be the most exclusive conversation of the day. So we're not going to tell every secret, okay, guys, but just a few secrets. Okay, so.
You know what it means when they show a rabbi a time limit? Nothing at all.
Oy vey. Okay, so with voices like, we're going to start on this. I know we were just chatting yesterday. With voices like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens openly flirting with Holocaust minimization and or anti-Jewish tropes, how can mainstream conservatives effectively isolate and discredit those narratives before they seep deeper, which I know they already have, into the movement?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. First of all, thank you for having us, and thank you to Besheva and ILTV for putting on this fantastic conference. I'm going to be brutally honest with the audience and with everyone that's watching. It's good to have unity. It's good to be together as Jews. We all need to be speaking out together against the Tucker Carlsons of the world, the Nick Fuentes of the world, the Candace Owens of the world. And this is not a problem that we can afford to just look the other way, pretend it's not happening. It is a major, major problem right now that we have in the conservative movement, that we have far right fringe people like Tucker Carlson, like Nick Fuentes, that very much are dictating policy at a national level, at a state level, at a local level. So everyone that cares about fighting back against Jew hatred, everyone that cares about fighting and supporting the very Judeo-Christian values that our country was founded upon, you better start speaking up louder than ever before about what's happening against the Tucker Carlsons, the Candace Owens. Please do not think that they are isolated voices. They need to be shunned and called out every single moment we can.
Absolutely. And by the way, it does keep me up at night. Now, Rabbi, from your vantage point in both the religious and policy worlds, what are the non-negotiable red lines leaders must draw when anti-Semitism is repackaged as politics or commentary?
One of the biggest problems that we've seen, and here's where Kevin Roberts went so critically wrong. He's the president of the Heritage Foundation, and he did not try to understand what the critics of Tucker Carlson were saying. He just said, "Oh, if you're criticizing if you're criticizing Israeli policy, you don't have to be anti-Semitic. A Christian can do so without being an anti-Semite." Well, of course, that's a total straw man because nobody ever said otherwise. What's totally in common, I can take you back 125 years ago to a definition of anti-Semitism. You know what an anti-Semite is? In 10 seconds. An anti-Semite believes without evidence that all Jewish property is stolen, and that the Jews believe they can be unfair to everybody else. You know those two things, you know everything Tucker Carlson has to say about the Jewish community, everything that Nick Fuentes has to say to the Jewish community, and not coincidentally, everything Ilan Omar has to say about Palestine and Israel, and Rashida Tlaib, and the only two things that AOC claimed to know about the Middle East when elected to Congress. So those were the obvious red lines, both for conservatives and for liberals, as far as the way forward. But in the Jewish community, there's only one side that's taking it seriously, very sadly.
Now, I will ask you, Bryan, what action can we make now, right now, to confront and stop the normalization of this hate, politically, culturally, and legally? I feel like, there's many panels like this, many conversations, but what should we do in next steps?
It's very simple. I just mentioned it. Everyone has to speak up. And you've got to put aside any political ambitions that one might have, how it might hurt your reputation, how it might hurt your business. You have to speak up. I know there's a lot of people within the conservative movement in America that are afraid to speak up against Tucker Carlson because of their connections to people in the White House. That is foolish, that is short-sighted, and that is the kind of behavior that allowed the Holocaust to exist. The left wing in this country, Ariella, has, maybe not the entire left wing, but a lot of the Democratic Party has been taken over, as the rabbi said, by the Ilhan Omars of the world, the AOCs of the world. Anti-Semitism, aka Jew hatred, has 100% corrupted the Democratic Party at this point. It is now making its way into the Republican Party. I am a Republican. Republicans we have to speak up now before it gets even worse. And that's how we heard Congressman Fine this morning talking about it. Thank you. Everyone has to speak out against it, regardless of how it's going to hurt your career, political ambitions. I'm sorry, just 10 seconds.
No, go ahead.
When I was in the Newsmax studio 2 weeks after October 7th, I impromptu looked at the camera and I spoke to an audience of millions and I said, the time is always right to do what's right. And you have to pick between good and evil. And right now, regardless of where Jew hatred is coming from right now, you have to speak up against that, and that's good. Forget about whatever's gonna potentially happen on the back end to you. We've got to raise our voices louder, stronger than ever before.
Absolutely. And in closing, I know that Representative Hamada said in his latest article, I have said before that America first does not mean America alone, and I will continue to champion this perspective. Our country is strongest when we stand shoulder to shoulder with our allies. A strong Israel makes America stronger and safer.
I think that we have to realize what it means for America. I mean, first of all, the Jewish community, what I said earlier, the Jewish community on the left sadly backed the anti-Semitism that was being voiced by the likes of Ilhan Omar. You don't find that on the political right. I'm cast as a right-winger, but I'm not. I'm into Torah values, Jewish values. When the Republican Party is going to be closer to Jewish values, then I'm going to go with them. But if they're not, then of course I'm not. That's because my values are driven by somewhere else, inherent, greater than politics. Sadly, those on the left, politics is their new religion. And that's very tragic for America. What makes the biggest difference for America, and the reason why everybody must speak out against anti-Semitism, is we don't need to talk about the Middle East at all to tell the difference between those protesting for Israel and those protesting for Hamas. They claim to be pro-Palestine, right? But they're not. And you know that because are they flying American flags or are they burning them? Are they attacking the police or are they thanking them? Are the police there to protect them from the outside or to protect others from them? Do they pick up gum wrappers or commit vandalism? All this is about the tear down of American civilization. It's not just about Israel. It's a critical issue that every American has to take as their own.
In closing, I'm going to pass to you in 1 second. Absolutely. And I'm going to pass to you for a final word. Now, something that came up this morning, I was reading, and it said Tucker Carlson says he's buying a home in Doha, and that is his approach to being accused of being a mouthpiece of Qatar. I'm not sure how one solved the other. And then he says, I am an American and a free man, and I will be wherever I want to be.
Nothing says that you are a proud America and you're America first while you're telling the Prime Minister of Qatar that you're buying a property in Doha because you like Doha. By the way, Tucker Carlson claims to be a Christian, but if you're a Zionist and you're a Christian, he's disgusted by you. But he wants to buy a property in Doha where you're really not allowed to be Christian. So it is asinine what is happening right now with the Tucker Carlsons of the world. My closing just remarks very quickly is that there is a wing within the Republican Party that says things like America only or America first only. I'm here to tell you, they are the minority. They are not the majority. America first does not mean America alone. It will never mean America alone. America is as strong as our allies are, and it's as strong as we are against our enemies. So America first does not mean America alone.
Amen. And thank you both very much. I would like to thank everyone here for being here today, our distinguished audience for joining us for this important conference. We look forward to seeing you again next year. On behalf of both Batsheva and ILTV, thank you so much for being here.